begin our newscast in Humboldt, Saskatchewan. The tiny prairie community has been on the minds and hearts of many Canadians. Last night, hundreds of residents there gathered to mourn the 15 victims of Friday night's devastating bus crash. City News reporter Tammie Sutherland joins us live now from outside the hospital in Saskatoon. Tammie, a difficult night, many difficult days ahead. Tell us a bit about the vigil we saw last night.
Well, it was just heartbreaking. I know a lot of people, of course, here in Saskatchewan, right throughout the country, watching that as it was broadcast live. And I mean, thousands of people flooded that arena. It was Elgar Peterson Arena. That's the home arena for the Humboldt Broncos. And it was completely packed. I can say that about an hour before the service even started, the overflow room was already full. And there were overflow rooms at local high schools and churches in the Humboldt area, as well as right across the Saskatoon area. People gathering together, hugging, grieving, of course, and consoling each other as they honor these 15 players and personnel who were killed in Friday's crash. Now, what we do know at this point as well, in terms of what's happening here at the hospital, there are still 13 people who are in hospital. And of course, many of them, if they could, likely were watching this very closely. The Prime Minister was there last night. On top of that, the Premier of Saskatchewan as well, and some hockey legends, hockey greats. We had Don Cherry, Ron McLean showing their support. Skater Scott Moyer also there, as well as Sheldon Kennedy and other former NHLers there to show their support for the people who have lost so much. And now in the coming days, as you said, they have to find time to grieve.
And Tammie, you know, this is not a small town tragedy. This has become a national tragedy. Do the people there get the sense of the support from across Canada and, in fact, across the world?
They absolutely do. A lot of the people who we've spoken to there who not necessarily knew anyone on that bus, but they live in Humboldt, and this is very close to their community. They say that they feel and see this outpouring from right across the country. And a big sign of that is the GoFundMe page that was actually started for the family members who are affected by this tragedy. It was started over the weekend. Already, as of this morning, last check, it had surpassed $4.6 million. So those are thousands, tens of thousands of donations from right across the country. People wanted to show their support and give in any way they can. So if there are people here in Humboldt and Saskatchewan are feeling it in all ways, and they do see the support that the country is definitely lending them.
And Tammie, in a tragedy like this, with so many lives lost, people are clearly searching for answers. What are the answers we have now with regards to the investigation? I know there's limited info, but what information do we have now?
You know what? And it is still very limited information in terms of the crash itself happening at that intersection there of the highways on Friday. It was 5 o'clock in the afternoon, still lit here in Saskatchewan. So in terms of how this happened, the RCMP not saying much at this point. They're saying that it's still under investigation. The truck driver, the driver of the semi, he was not injured at all, but he was briefly taken into custody and then released. So looking to see whether or not he was able to provide a sense of what happened. The bus driver, of course, is one of the dead. So unfortunately, the answers that we are getting right now, not many, but we're hoping for an update from the RCMP sometime later today.
All right, Tammie, thank you so much for taking the time this morning. We will talk to you real soon. Appreciate it.